Welcome to the Stock Market Game, brought to you by the SIFMA Foundation. In this video, we will be reviewing how to enter stock, bond, and mutual fund trades in your stock market game portfolio. After your team has completed research and decided on a stock, bond, or mutual fund to invest in, your team will want to make the trade in your stock market game portfolio. Please note, most teams do not need to trade all three asset classes, stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. Check your local rules for your game requirements. The first step is arriving at the main trading page by hovering over Trade, Enter a Trade. Now you must select which asset you like to trade. Let's start with stocks. Let's go over all the options on the trade screen. You have the option to buy, sell, short sell, or short cover. Next, you have a list of New Day sustainable stocks. New Day is an investment management company that researches how well companies have adopted responsible environmental, social, and governance policies. The following companies have been identified as being sustainable companies by New Day. You can use this list of stocks as a springboard for further stock research. Block symbols list are stocks that you cannot trade in the stock market game. They could be blocked for a number of reasons, such as limited trading volume in the real world, corporate actions, etc. Then you have the option to search for ticker symbol or search by company name. Validate ticker get details will confirm the stock you wish to trade and give you more information on the stock, including last close price. Order type, market means you'll get the current price if the trade is entered during market hours or closing price for end-of-day accounts. Limit means that the transaction will not execute unless your limit price is met. If the price is not met, the trade will be dropped and not good until filled. Number of shares, we also have the minimum number of shares that you can buy for stocks is 10. Limit price should be entered if you selected the order type as limit. In a buy, set the limit price of how much you are willing to pay for the stock. Clear values to clear the values entered, and preview trade to proceed with your transaction. For an example, let's go ahead and buy 10 shares in Apple. You want to select buy, then type in the company name, and you can search by company name. Select the correct ticker, AAPL, to continue. You can also find a company's ticker by doing a simple Google or Yahoo Finance search. If you know the ticker, you can select search for ticker symbol. You can also click validate ticker get details for more information on the stock. I want to make sure the buy is still selected. For type of trade, I want to select market because we're playing in a real-time game. And I'm going to enter 10 for the number of shares. I'm going to leave the limit price blank, and I'm going to click preview trade. You'll then be asked to re-enter your password. And click confirm trade. You will then see a trade confirmation message. If you're trading in a real-time account and enter a trade during market hours, that trade will appear in transaction notes. And you can get there by trade transaction notes. And I can see the trade right here that I just entered. Please note that if you're trading outside of market hours, the trade will appear in pending orders and execute when the market opens. The trade will receive the following day's opening price. Next, let's trade a mutual fund. Click Mutual Fund Trade. There are many of the same options as the stock trade page. For an example, let's go ahead and buy 10 shares in the Vanguard 500 Index Fund, ticker VFIAX. Select Buy, and then we're going to type in Vanguard and search by mutual fund description. You can see there are many Vanguard mutual funds that we can purchase. So an easier way, instead of searching through all of these pages, would be to just type in the ticker, VFIAX. IAX, and search for mutual fund. You can click to validate the ticker and click Validate Mutual Fund to find out more information. Next, the minimum number of shares you can buy in an order for mutual fund is 10, so we're going to enter 10 shares and click Preview Trade. Make sure that you reselect the buy if it is unclicked. I'm going to re-enter my password to confirm the trade. And click Confirm Trade. You will then see a trade order confirm message with information on where to view the transaction in the Pending Orders page. If you are trading in a real-time account and enter a mutual fund trade during market hours, the trade will appear in Pending Orders and execute at the end of the market day. Then it will be visible in Transaction Notes. You can access the Pending Orders page by Trade, Pending Orders, and you can see our trade right here. If you enter a mutual fund trade outside of market hours, the trade will appear in Pending Orders and execute at the end of the next market day. Then it will be visible in Transaction Notes. Finally, let's trade some bonds. Click Bond Trade. There are many of the same options as the stock and mutual fund trade page, except that bonds trade in dollar amounts. Corporate and municipal bonds can only be purchased or sold in $1,000 increments. Treasury bonds can be purchased or sold in $100 increments. To trade a bond, click on Bond symbol, and then select between corporate, municipal, and government bonds. When trading a corporate bond, select the first letter of the company name and then click Search Corporate Bonds. For example, if I'd like to buy a bond in Campbell Soup Co., I can select C and then search Corporate Bonds. I can see that there are two different Campbell Soup Co. corporate bonds I can select. You want to make sure that you select the bond with the correct CUSIP number as the bond you researched. The CUSIP number is a unique identification number assigned to all registered bonds. In the stock market game, the CUSIP number is preceded by a prefix of CO, MU, or TR, but more on that later. I want to select the bond with the CUSIP number ending in AY5, and I can see that's right here. You can even click on the symbol to learn more about the bond and click Trade to have it filled in here. When trading municipal bonds, you want to also click Bond symbol, and you want to select the state. So an example would be selecting HI for Hawaii and clicking Search Municipal Bonds to get a list of municipal bonds offering to trade. Finally, click Bond symbol and search Government Bonds for a list of all Treasury bonds that you can trade. If you know the CUSIP of the bond you wish to trade, you can enter the CUSIP number with the correct bond prefix to validate the bond and trade. Add CO underscore for corporate, MU underscore for municipal, and TR underscore for treasury. For example, if I want to buy a specific treasury bond, I can enter the prefix TR underscore, and then I can enter the CUSIP with the correct prefix in front of it. So I know that the CUSIP is 9128110 RQ3. And I can validate that by clicking Validate Bond. And I see that I am, in fact, typing in and selecting the correct bond. Just click Trade. Remember, corporate and municipal bonds can only be purchased or sold in $1,000 increments. Treasury bonds can only be purchased or sold in $100 increments. So because I'm purchasing a treasury bond, I can enter a dollar amount of 100 and preview the bond trade. Please make sure that buy or sell was selected. Re-enter your password. and confirm bond trade. You will then see a trade order confirmation message with information on where to view the transaction in the pending orders page. If you are trading in real-time account and enter a trade during market hours, the trade will appear in the pending orders tab and execute at the end of the market day. Then it will be visible in transaction notes. You can access the pending orders page by trade, pending orders, and you can see our transaction right here. If you enter a trade outside of market hours, the trade will appear in pending orders and execute at the end of the next market day. Then it will be visible in transaction notes. If you have any questions with entering trades, don't forget to click the I button located at the top of the Enter a Trade page to find out more information. Thank you and happy trading.